program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and are not those of WKYU-TV, its management, or WKU.
All right, everybody, we're back for another episode of Toppertalk. It is April Fool's Day, and we got four fools right here, ready to give you sports talk for the next 30 minutes. Back from his disappearing act off the milk carton is Shane Bearden. Welcome back, Shane. How you doing?
I appreciate it.
It's been a while.
I know.
I'm Sean, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Sean.
Nice to meet you.
You are...
Last week's Shane version looked a lot better than this week's Shane version.
Oh, man. That hurt.
Which was Lene Kakua.
Yeah, which was nobody. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm Sean Williams.
That
with
wasn't
Shane
even an April
Bearden,
Fool's joke.
Woody White, and there at
Adam.
the end is
Adam Haley.
Introduce yourself, Adam.
Hey.
So what's going on, fellas? Let's talk about some Conference USA talk.
What's that?
It's sweeping the nation.
Did that happen?
The most
Yeah, it
extensive April Fool's joke Western's ever played on its own fans. Happened today.
That'd be so outstanding if we just found out tomorrow. Is all
Even
Western just came out tomorrow and said, April Fools.
Even
Still
the
in Sun
Conference
Belt.
USA commissioner reassured it's not an April's Fool's.
Everybody's in on it.
I love that he introed the press conference that way.
I know.
He said, it's not April Fool's,
He's
guys.
got a
Don't
sense of
worry."
humor, sense of style. So what do you guys think? Make it official. Western Kentucky will be joining Conference USA July 1st, 2014. So what do you guys think? A necessary move, of course, but
Oh, definitely. And it's a good move. I think definitely for basketball starting out. Football has the potential. There's still some good teams there. Southern Miss, even though they had a down year last year, they've
0-12,
been
baby.
Yeah.
well, they ended up firing their coach after that.
Yet,
but-
even as an 0-12 team, we still sold out the Houch with them.
That is true.
Coming to
Well, they were
visit.
supposed to be good when they came in.
Yeah.
They just came off a good season, had a new
Yeah,
coach.
they won CUSA 2 years ago over Houston, who was like BCS.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
potential.
that just shows you the name recognition of some of the schools that we're going to be playing now, as opposed to what we've been playing in the past. I think that'll help reinvigorate our fan base again, playing some of these old rivals that we played in the past, and maybe building some new rivalries with schools that are close by, like Marshall and stuff like that. So
That's what I've been saying, since we started hearing about it, is perception's reality, pretty much. I don't know if that's, y'all ever heard that saying or not, but, whatever the playing field's like, whether, Arkansas State and Lafayette are kind of creeping up in the Sun Belt, means pretty good teams, but, even a Southern Miss or a Marshall, the name recognition is still there, and that's like you said, is going to get more fans coming out. So whether the actual competition level in football, especially whether it goes up or not, it's just the perception is definitely better. So I think that's what I'm definitely excited
Basketball's
about.
an
Basketball
immediate-
is a huge step
Yeah.
up.
though, both men's and women's for that matter.
For sure.
It'll be, fans will be more excited to come see Western play some of these new schools, and then they might not get excited about FIU coming in here or, the Louisiana Lafayette, but you get some of these CUSA teams in here, and it's good for basketball right now. I don't think Conference USA is as good in football as what the Sun Belt's about to be, but with Middle Tennessee in football now and Conference USA, they're definitely working their way up to be a big time.
Keeping that rivalry too is
football
a
program.
huge,
Yeah.
huge move for sure.
Oh yeah, that's definitely good for Middle and Western both.
Some of their fans act like they didn't want us to come join CUSA, but
that,
they would
yeah.
miss us for sure. They gotta have somebody to hate on.
Well, you talk about
Likewise.
it. Even President Ransdale mentioned it today. I mean, you have so much more options with Conference USA. I mean, they have 6 bowl tie-ins for football. So he kind of mentioned that in the press conference that 2 years ago we're sitting at 7-5. We didn't get a bowl invite. We did this past year, but Middle Tennessee was 8-4 and didn't get a bowl invite. So, if we finished the season 7-5, we wouldn't be sitting around crossing our fingers and our toes, waiting for a bowl invite.
Yeah, he
because
said every CUSA team.
Yeah.
I didn't want to steal your thunder there.
Oh,
Go
no,
for
you're
it.
fine. Go
My
ahead.
Bad. My bad.
Oh, okay, I'll finish then. But he said every Conference USA team in football that's finished with a winning record or bowl eligible has made a bowl game. So, that's also positive. And he also mentioned that joining a league like Conference USA in basketball for both men's and women's will increase their RPI rating and potentially get them a better seed whenever the NCAA tournament rolls around. So, I mean, all good factors aside from money that joining a conference like Conference USA will provide us. So definitely much needed. I mean, you think of the Sun Belt, on our 2 bowl tie-ins, and if we win the conference championship, we get a 16 seed or a 15 seed or something like that.
It's going to be even worse now with some of the teams that
Oh,
are
yeah,
gone and
sure.
the teams that were brought in. I mean, none of the teams that were brought in were basketball in the Sun Belt. None. I mean, except for the University of Texas Arlington, who was brought in for basketball only. But even still, I mean, UTA is not exactly a well-known basketball school. So
another thing, Rand still kind of mentioned the footprint of Sunbelt, just kind of, it's just a process.
Moscow, Idaho.
It's just the conference realignment process. You don't want to be stuck behind in a league like the Sun Belt when they're pulling teams from the FCS whenever we can move up, and that's definitely the next step. I mean, you gotta keep progressing, and like I said, it's more money, more options for our sports teams to better themselves and be in the postseason and increase their RPIs and everything like that. So
well, and we were talking about basketball already, but I mean, schools like UAB have history of being good. Old Dominion, even though they had a down year this year, I mean, they have a history of having good teams. You got Charlotte, who we have history with back in the old Sun Belt as well. And then on the women's side of things, I mean, you still have Middle Tennessee, Old Dominion, and Louisiana Tech in women's. And I mean, that's, Old Dominion, Western, and Louisiana Tech back in the day, they went to all kinds of Final Fours between them in the old Sun Belt. So, that's a budding rivalry waiting to happen again, too, just to reincarnate that.
It'll be fun to kind of, get to see these teams come in here and play in Diddle. And I'm excited about the football, getting to go around. And, we can make a trip out to Marshall. It's not too awful far. And then, of course, you still got Middle. I'm just excited that Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky are still together because that's something you'd hate to lose, because then who's Western's rival going to be in the Sun Belt if they got left behind?
I'm looking at their message boards here, and they're acting like us following them is like the worst thing ever. I love Middle fans, man. I've been making fun of them for so long. I would miss that for sure.
We had a lot of people, kind of mentioned that they were kind of disappointed that we did kind of follow Middle of the Conference USA. They were talking a lot about wanting to join the MAC conference, so. And what do you guys think about that?
Too much snow.
We'd be kind of the black sheep of that conference.
We'd be
south. We don't have anything in common with any of the institutions of the MAC conference, in my personal opinion. I mean, they're all northern teams. They're all Iron Belt, I guess, as they call it. Or, I mean, it's
impressive.
It's all northern cities. I think in Kentucky we kind of like to consider ourselves part of the South.
Too. We are. We're part of the South.
Exactly. There we go. And just proved my point. But playing all those northern teams, I don't think it does anything for us. We don't recruit up there. Their fan attendance is awful at most of those schools. I mean, their basketball is no better than the Sun Belt. The MAC was definitely not something I wanted to be a part of.
No, me either.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make a case for football, but I think basketball-wise, definitely a better move to go to Conference USA. It's a lot stronger basketball conference, and like I said, you build local regional rivalries, keep the middle rivalry, play Marshall and our old Sun Belt foes, and we got UAB down there in Alabama too, so
that's a pretty good, easy trip too to make for sure. I'm excited about going to Birmingham. Birmingham's a pretty cool town.
It is.
Yeah. So I mean, what else you guys think about the move, Conference USA?
Who are the teams you're most looking forward to playing now with the new move?
Rice.
In baseball?
Baseball, yeah.
Baseball powerhouse right there. Yeah.
They do have some sweet baseball uniforms. I don't know if I'm just saying.
I've seen them on ESPN for years now, in College World Series. They're usually pretty good, but I don't know. I mean, it's out of the new schools, I don't know who I'm going to like playing the most, just because I'm not very familiar with any of them, like as far as being able to watch their games live. I'm excited about Middle Tennessee, pretty much. That's about it.
Well, I mean, you look at the
new teams, Adam. New teams.
You talk about new teams, but you look at the escape of the Sun Belt and Conference USA. But Conference USA, I mean, you got Memphis that's leaving this year. You also got East Carolina, Tulane, and Tulsa that'll be leaving next year. Tulsa's going to make that official tomorrow morning. So right now, as far as the lineup looks, whenever we joined the league in 2014, we got former Sun Belt teams, FAU, FIU, North Texas Middle, and then we got La Tech, UT San Antonio, and then we got Old Dominion and Charlotte. And Charlotte won't start their football program until 2015. And then you got the current members, which is Marshall, Rice, Southern Miss, UAB, and UTEP. So that's kind of the landscape of how that's going to look. And as far as divisions go, I know Conference USA Commissioner Banowski said that he would look at redoing the divisions after this sports season before all of us join the conference and everything. So, but a good note, a good little nugget he said during the press conference is instead of going to the traditional two-division league, he said in basketball he might kind of think outside the box and do something creative with the divisions there with regional rivalries and things like that. So what do you guys think about that? Like a 3-division regional rivalry or something like that?
Well, I know a lot of Conference USA teams apparently have said they don't want to go beyond a 16 game conference schedule in basketball. In the past, they've hated that it went anywhere beyond it because before that, I think last year they did an 18 game conference schedule, and they don't really want to go beyond 16. So I could see it being something like playing each team once and then having 3 teams within, which we talked about this, having 3 teams in close proximity to each school that you play a home and home with.
Who would you want those 3 teams to be?
I would want those 3 teams to be UAB, Old Dominion, and Middle, just because I think those are the 3 more like-minded basketball schools with us. But then again, I mean, Marshall would kind of be on an island with that because they're right up there by us as well. So,
what do you guys think? Think Marshall should be in the mix?
I mean, yeah, those are 3 pretty good ones. Marshall would probably have to factor in there somehow. I don't know how that exactly would work, but I mean, their basketball program's on the upcome too. They had a pretty good season this year, so. I mean, those 3 you said would probably be the ones I would choose. Like you said, schools kind of like us that have been pretty historical basketball schools. So I'm just excited to be in a school or a conference with schools that actually care about basketball for once. The Sun Belt's just kind of gotten tired of it. I think the past couple of years been focusing on football and everything. So it's going to be fun to see, I think, the upswing that basketball is going to take for sure.
Even still, we're in a conference with schools that have, athletic budgets close to what we are instead of us being so far ahead of most of the teams in the Sun Belt.
Yeah.
Definitely fit in a little bit better with Conference USA now.
Yep.
And another key point I thought that was pretty interesting from the press conference is, Ransdale kind of said he'd been, kind of working on this for, over a year now. He said him and Commissioner Bernowski work on the same committee. I can't remember what committee that was, but, kind of been having some, low-key talks.
Oversight committee.
BC Oversight. Dynamite drop in there, Shane. Welcome back, homie.
It's on the game tonight.
That's right. But, they kind of had some, off-the-cuff talks and everything like that, but business really started picking up actually last week. They said about Thursday, Friday, kind of when the ball started rolling, and, they got the invite and everything like that Saturday morning, and here we are Monday, and we're talking about Western Kentucky joining Conference USA. So this kind of goes to show you kind of, and, also Ransdale said that, they were really proactive. He wanted to be really proactive and where Western ended up instead of just being reactive, and wanted to kind of position themselves to be in a more sports secure conference. So
Western really, according to what he said, Western really stepped it up to when New Mexico State and Idaho were added back in the Sun Belt, and I think maybe he just didn't want a part of dealing with that kind of geography going on. So he stepped up his efforts a little more.
I kind of laughed whenever I heard Idaho was coming in for football. It's just
they play in a dome, man.
I mean, Idaho used to be a member of the Sun Belt. I mean, that's like. When we got rid of them, it was like, oh, that's good. But then we still had Denver. And we still had New Mexico State. And we finally got rid of all them, and then everybody bolts out of the conference. So, and then we bring them right back because the WAC folded. So.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like those are kind of like the last two.
Benson?
Like the last two.
Carl Benson was commissioner of the WAC when it folded too.
Hey, y'all come down back there, okay? I know there's people dropping stuff back there, man. It's really distracting me. But, you look at Idaho and New Mexico State, I mean, they're kind of like the last 2 remaining WAC teams. They're kind of like out there waving the flag on an island saying, save us. And, the WAC come in and saved them. And, it's kind of funny, though. Carl Benson added, App State and Georgia Southern last week to the Sun Belt. Then he added New Mexico State and Idaho as football-only members. And, Carl's like, man, I got 12 football members. Yeah.
He's excited about football.
And then all of a sudden Western's like, hey, we'll see you later.
It's definitely Carl Benson's Sun Belt.
I think that's why they added 4 teams, though. I'm pretty sure they knew that Western was on its way out.
I'm pretty sure they did, yeah.
I don't think worst kept secret ever.
Yeah, and Arkansas State and Louisiana Lafayette have made it no secret that they're trying to get out of the Sun Belt as well. So, I think he's just trying to hedge himself and make sure that, it's not a repeat of what happened to him in the WAC where he held steady and everybody left and he was not left with enough members to even compete. So,
well, I mean, you know, I heard people make arguments that Western should stay in the Sun Belt because, you know, App State and Georgia Southern are really, I mean, they're top-notch FCS football programs for sure, but, you know, people trying to make arguments for that, but then you got to counter that with New Mexico State and Idaho, who are not very good football.
but even as good as App State and Georgia Southern were in the FCS, Western fans should know better than anybody the pains of going through a transition from FCS to FBS.
Yeah,
it's not like App State and Georgia Southern are going to come right in and be a good football program. Yes, they may be good in the belt just because there's so many FCS teams coming into the belt, but it's going to be one of those things where it would take them 3 or 4 years before they would start competing consistently to, you know, be at the level we're at now that took us 4 years to get to.
Yeah.
If Western fans really wanted to stay in the Sun Belt instead of going to Conference USA, then they should just kind of reevaluate their fanship right there. I mean, you look at the money. The money's the biggest thing. And talking about wanting better facilities. I mean, we have really good facilities here, but if you want spend some money on some stuff, then this is the move you got to make, especially with football money and TV payouts and Conference USA. I mean, it's just so much better than the Sun Belt. If you can't stay in the Sun Belt.
There's something like each Conference USA school got like $1.5 million out of the TV contracts this year, and each Sun Belt school got $40,000.
Yeah. So I mean, you're talking about
a huge difference.
Almost $1.5 million. And
Yeah.
I mean, I know I could use $1.5 million. So
I think I can make some things happen.
Get some things popping around here.
I mean, if you want to go to a bowl game, then you got to go Conference USA. You're getting 3.
Yeah.
Well, last year, I mean, Sun Belt got more bowl games than I guess they ever had before.
Yeah,
but
But you still had somebody get left out.
Yeah.
And in Conference USA, as you know, one thing Banowski pointed out today was that since he's been commissioner, nobody that's been eligible has been left out of a bowl.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they got 6 bowl affiliations, and I think they got like 2 alternates too. So I mean, they got a lot of things going on in
Music City Bowl
football.
is one of those alternates, if I remember right.
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
That'd be kind of sweet to get in that bowl.
I mean,
Sweet.
their main affiliated bowls are the Beef O'Brady's, Hawaii, Liberty, Armed Forces, New Orleans, and the Heart of Dallas Bowl, which would be kind of cool to go play in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Even though nobody would be there, but
We had a couple questions come in about Conference USA from Twitter. Somebody wanted to know if do we think with WKU now entering Conference USA, you think it'll help recruiting in all sports?
I don't know if it. I mean, I don't know. You know, when you're a kid that's going to be going to a mid-major, I don't think it really matters what mid-major conference it is. But I guess it depends on your sport. Basketball, I think it would help a little bit, just because I think Conference USA is a better basketball conference than the Sun Belt. So I'm not sure if it helps. It probably gives a little bit of edge, just as far as they know that they'll be able to play in a bowl game if they have a winning season.
yeah.
And to be on TV a little bit more.
Woody?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a little bump there probably. I don't know. I mean, we're still, like you said, a mid-major school, as much as I hate to use that term. So,
Well, it's the other 5 now, I think. Is
the other 5,
actual
yeah.
term.
We can be the others or whatever. But, you know, I think it's still going to be based on how well we're doing. If we're winning games, you know, being in the mix for NCAA tournaments and bowl games and stuff like that. So, I mean, if we're in the mix there, you know, we're going to get the players that we need in all our sports pretty much.
Yeah, I think as far as basketball, I think it'd make a little bit of a difference in basketball. Football, not so much. I think we'll still kind of go after the same kind of kids we normally go after in football. You know, the local kids and, you know, players down south and everything. So, you know, that's my opinion on it.
I think it really goes based on school anyway, as opposed to more than conference affiliation. I think if you're at a school that has shown tradition and shown a willingness to win and facilities and all that kind of stuff, I think that goes further than what your conference affiliation necessarily is. But at the same time, I think it might help, like Adam said, I think it might help just a little bit. Maybe not as much as fans might think it will, but you know, I think Western has had the facilities in place now that, you know, we've been recruiting at the level we're going to keep recruiting at. I don't think that's really going to change.
Yeah. Take a break for a second. We got some Twitter interaction here.
Commercial?
Yeah.
Commercial
We'll go to
break,
commercial.
first
We'll be
time
back in 30 seconds. April Fools, just kidding. But we got some tweets on our account here, so feel free to tweet at us at Toppertalk. Tweet us some questions or any comments or anything about April Fools or conference realignment. We got some in from WKU student section at WKU_Red Riot.
Oh, man.
He says, I'm still waiting for Ransdale to tweet out, I got you. That's
Ransdale doesn't have a Twitter, so it's going to be hard.
That's true.
You got fake Gary Ransdale.
Gary probably did tweet that
We also got Josh Davis, who tweeted at us the Cubs as his April Fool's Day joke.
Hey,
So-
Cubs are in first place, Josh Davis. What you want? I'm just saying. Don't hate on my Cubs now.
They'd be tied with the Astros if Astros didn't bolt.
We're
to the
1-0, man. Anthony Rizzo dropping bombs. Jeff Samardzija, 8 innings, scoreless.
Didn't he play at Notre Dame?
He did, football player.
That's right.
What are we talking about?
Name
Notre
drop.
Dame again?
Number 6, Notre Dame.
You want to bring in some Cubs? I'll keep going on some Cubs now.
I really don't want to talk about baseball.
We can move
to
on
be
to
honest.
something else. We can
Talk about Western baseball.
Hey, talk about Western baseball.
And Western baseball's in first place too, man. They've won all 3 of their Sun Belt series. Swept Middle, obviously, which is awesome.
Stewart told
Anytime
Banowski that Western baseball was in first when he presented him with a nice,
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
WKU baseball
That's a
hat
sweet
today at
hat.
the press conference.
And you got the complimentary WKU red towel.
Oh, there you go.
Shelf
Spending
material
Nice
right there.
Western swag.
Spending the money on the new.
I really don't know. I really don't know if he'll wear any of that stuff, but I think if he like has a press conference or like they come, they have a camera in his office, like the Western
Put it on
Western
the shelf.
swag will be on the shelf behind
Sure
him,
will.
Be good.
representing.
Ryan Huck just continuing
He's
his
dropping bombs.
Yep.
He's got 9
dominating
on the
hitting.
season now.
9 home runs.
That's right.
Hit
Is he going to be
one,
the collegiate baseball player of the year?
If he keeps dropping bombs,
Maybe Sunville. I don't know what kind of. The
It's like
teams
every-
we've been beating, like Lafayette was getting votes for the top 25. I know. I think FIU was getting votes as
we
well.
beat UK. He was
Yeah, we beat
number
UK.
3 or something.
They were
we beat
8
them.
when we played them.
8.
Yeah.
3-8. It's close enough.
But
Half of 8.
Sunbelt's a pretty solid baseball conference at the moment. So we'll have a chance if we keep winning these series and stuff to be maybe pushing for those votes in the top 25 and.
And then when Adam gets his Rice team in here,
Yeah,
we'll have them.
Just think about the
Gonna be
competition will
dominant-
start when
dominant.
Rice comes into town. I mean,
Be good
man,
times.
Adam will be up in the stands with his shirt off, WKU on it.
Some good-looking girls that go to Rice. If you watch their baseball games.
I don't think they'll be coming here to watch baseball though.
I'll be going to Rice to watch
They
baseball.
only have like 1,300 students.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the Toppertalk show is going to fund us some money to go to these stadiums in 2014 to watch sports.
So I don't know if they
That's what
do
I'm
that.
hearing.
Jordan, the ball's in your court again.
I like how we just throw out stipulations on the air all of a sudden.
Well, they some work, maybe. I
Just
don't know.
put it in our contract.
It's the last show ever.
So when's the Louisville game at the
But let me pull my
ballpark?
schedule back up here.
It's coming up soon,
We get
yeah.
Louisville at the ballpark next Tuesday.
Okay.
At 6 p.m. Hopefully we'll get some good weather for that and get some nice springtime weather.
Supposed to be
in here.
nice.
Supposed to be
Weather's going to be
I got to
good.
coach a soccer game that night. Man, that's unfortunate.
Western's still undefeated at Bowling Green Ballpark.
Yeah, that's right.
Then they get
Just wax teams when they play in there.
Yep.
the 23rd of April. We get UK in here, and that'll be. It should be good weather by then. Hopefully, get another close to sellout crowd like it was a few years ago when we beat them 27-2 or whatever it was. So UK is a pretty legit baseball team too this year. So that's a big game. So y'all
Actually,
go on out.
I should re-specify. Bowling Green's undefeated during the regular season
Yeah,
at Bowling Green
that is
Ballpark
true.
because we
Yeah.
lost
Yeah.
the Sun Belt Conference tournament
right.
there.
Forgot about
I
that,
was there
man.
at that game. I went out and watched them play Friday night against Lafayette, and it's a team
Did you
that
get kicked out?
No, I didn't
Okay,
get kicked out.
that's good.
It was a nice cold afternoon for baseball, and this Western team, I don't know how they do it. It seems like every game is just coming down to the end. They always play teams so
Something
close.
like 12 one-run games already, I think is the stat that I saw.
What's their record in those games?
Give me a minute. Y'all
Sorry,
keep talking.
man.
I'll
I
come
know
up
that.
with
What are
Put
they
that
in
in
the
my
Sun Belt now?
contract.
8-2 or
it. I think that's right. No, it'd be 7-2. Tied for first place.
okay.
That's good.
So that's good.
Off to a good
Softball's
start.
doing good too.
Softball's in first place as well. And so the Diamond Tops are getting it done this spring for sure.
We also got spring football going on, guys.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't know
talk
if y'all know
about
about that or
Tell
not.
us about some spring football,
Hey, well,
Sean.
We
I'll
know
talk
you've
about
been
some
there.
spring football.
I've been reading your
I don't know what
stories.
you're talking about. I don't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to.
I know
5:45
everybody is
practice.
dying to know who is the quarterback that's leading the pack right
Man,
now.
everybody's dying to know that. And you know what the answer is? Nobody is the starting quarterback right now.
Have they been
I
doing?
didn't say starting. I said who's leading the pack.
Who's doing the best?
I tell you what, surprisingly, who's leading the pack right now looks like it's going to be Brandon Dowdy.
Ooh,
I think he's got. They had a half scrimmage on Saturday, and he got most of the reps. He was 13 for 22 for 171 yards and a touchdown. He got a lot of reps. Seems like that kind of tells me that he's probably got a better grasp of the playbook than the other two, and that you can say what you want about that, but I mean, it's still early in the spring and everything like that. But that's what kind of tells me. I mean, DeMarcus Smith looked really good. I mean, he went 7 for 16, had a few inaccurate passes, but he completed a couple of really nice deep balls for some scores, and he had 81 yards on the day. Morrow got in there probably about 3 different drives and went 5 for 9 for 104 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, right now you look at it, I mean, just looking at the half scrimmage they had Saturday, the offense still got a little bit of work to do as far as the passing game and everything like that. I think the quarterbacks are still out there pressing a little bit. As far as Antonio Andrews, he still looks amazing. Don't worry about that, guys.
So are you ready to kill the rumors that he's gone next year? Is he going to be here?
I think I'm going to kill those, yeah.
Officially?
I mean, why would he want to leave? I mean, he's like the perfect weapon in the Petrino offense. Why would he want to?
I would think that he wouldn't, but that's just,
Unless he wants to just go work on his tan or something, I mean, hang out with the girls down there in Tampa.
He'd be all right. So, well, good, Antonio Andrews. But, I mean, you got to think that with him in the offense next year, I don't know how you game plan for Western Kentucky next year, especially putting in Petrino's
You talk
offense.
about that. And plus we're absolutely stacked at running back too.
And wide receiver now, for that matter.
And you got Andrews, you got Simpson. Simpson got a lot of carries too. I mean, Simpson's going to be your bulldozer running back. He's going to run over people. He run over a couple people Saturday too. I mean, he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up and be your goal line guy. Willie McNeil looks really good.
Ace Wills coming back from injury.
Ace Wills, he's been looking good. He didn't get a lot of reps in the half scrimmage. Usually, actually, I don't think he got any carries in the half scrimmage. That usually they all went to Andrews, Simpson, and then Marquise Sumler. Looks like the third guy right now. Of course, that's tentative. It's just spring ball. But as far as drills and everything goes, Ace looks really good. Looks like he can probably get some carries in the rotation there. If any injuries come up. But he's looking really good. Got a good burst and good explosion. And when it comes to practice, they got 3 more practices. They got a full scrimmage Saturday. So, I mean, if you guys aren't busy Saturday, come out to the scrimmage. It'll be at 10 o'clock. It's going to be a full scrimmage.
Open to the public?
The Zebras, every practice is open to the public.
That's what I was thinking every practice was.
Yeah.
Pack the couch for practice.
Pack the couch for practice. I mean, it's, the Zebras will be out there to be like a game, So, I mean, we had it was a handful of people out there Saturday because it was actually, sort of nice. It was up in the 50s. So we had a few people out there, but it's a little half scrimmage, but this time it's going to be full on scrimmage. So
how's the secondary looking?
Secondary's looking great.
Good.
Secondary. I mean, Dowling's out there making plays. He's still, I'd say tackling. He's getting better. He's getting better, but Tyree Robinson, Arius Wright, and Keontae Young, they all look solid.
They've been here forever.
Yeah, I mean,
it's nice to have.
Even our new guys are doing really good. Dalton Patterson, our JUCO quarterback, he's out there making plays, and even DeQual Randall, he's a sophomore linebacker. He's out there making plays, and you talk about a freshman too, early entry freshman, Devontae DeClose. He's out there making some good plays too. I mean, we've got a solid group coming in, and especially the new guys that came in too, early enrollees, looking really good out there. So, it's funny because the first weekend they looked a little. Looked like everybody was kind of out there pressing, trying to impress the coaches and everything like that, and especially the quarterbacks with Petrino and everything. But looks like they've settled down this past week, and we'll see what they look like the third week here. So it'll be interesting to see. So, guys, got anything to add before we get off here?
12-0.
12-0. How you calling it?
I don't know about that.
Maybe with this Sun Belt.
I'm gonna go. I'll go say 10 wins at least. So.
I'll say that's
good.
I'm comfortable with 10 wins
We got
for
about
sure.
5 seconds left.
All right.
So
Thank
until
y'all
next
for tuning
time,
in.
We'll see y'all
See you
next
guys
week.
next week.
Go Tops.
Peace out.
So.
On the next Main Street, ever wonder where fire trucks come from?